Hi, beautiful people. How are you? My name is Connor.
My name is Brittany.
Today we're going to be reading a question.
Here I go.
Here Brittany goes.
A question from Hugh.
If you've been curious about what ConorandBrittany.com membership is all about, we have just released free membership.
We'd love for you to come on over and check out the videos, exercises, discounts, and so much more.
Also get into our secret group on Facebook.
Do it. Recently, my daughter came out to me and said that she has feelings for girls. I want to educate myself on how to support her and encourage her to be her true self no matter what that is. She's 11.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for the question.
I love this.
Yeah, in a way, we can think about this maybe more easily by just applying it to anything that our children want to do or are excited about, and just wanting to support them and to encourage them. And I think the reason that this person reached out to us is because it doesn't feel like just something,
Right.
It feels like there's more power behind it for it's a mom, right?
It's a mom.
Yes, but more power behind it, maybe a little charged, maybe a little triggering, maybe a little concerning, and just feels like a bigger deal than, say, if her daughter said, hey, I am really interested in watercolor.
Right.
Can you support me getting some watercolor paints?
Right, maybe that would bring up nothing for her.
Yeah.
Or maybe for another person who had trauma with watercolors.
That could be a big deal.
It could be a big deal.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love this because I think it comes back to what we love talking about, which is unconditional love and support. And it's so beautiful as parents to get to play this role in another being's life of being their witnesser in a way, and holding space and appreciating their journey. And we can also apply this to all beings, whether that's a partner or a friend or a family member of some sort. And I think we've been taught a lot of control and we need to do a lot, maybe muscle a lot for life to flow smoothly. And I haven't found that to be the case. So for me, what this feels like is, oh, cool, a great opportunity to support my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter, in this new discovery that she has about herself, and how fun. And I get to show up in unconditional love and support and let her know that I love you unconditionally. You can play around with anything in your life that's resonating with you. And yeah, this idea that if that doesn't feel completely true for parts of me, if that hits on something, which maybe is I got the sense from this person because it seems like they really want to support their daughter, that it's more maybe fear about maybe something that could come up for them, or maybe they're fearing stuff will come up for other people that their daughter interacts with. And so that's a great opportunity to look at, what does this bring up for me? And how can I truly feel like I'm unconditionally loving and supporting and open and not wanting to control my daughter's experience? What are the things coming up? And then you get an opportunity to change a belief that maybe is stuck in there and not the fullest truth for you. And I love the idea of being open with your daughter about this and maybe changing that belief together, or just letting her know. And we talked about this a little before. Do you want to share what that could look like for them?
Yeah, for sure. So it sounds really good in theory to feel 100% supportive and unconditionally loving when someone says, I am, or I want, or this is, the action I want to take, or whatever. And that can be true for the center of us, and it can also be true that we have other parts that may not be true for. And so I don't think it's helpful to lie and to say, I 100% support you. There's no part of me that has any concern about this. This is awesome. This is wonderful. Right. No triggers whatsoever, because we can feel that may not be true in receiving that. And that kind of starts to create miscommunication, a lack of understanding, and a lack of connection. So while the intention can be pure, that I desire to support you, I desire to unconditionally love you, I have a place inside of me that's super easy to access. And also, I do want to be real with you and share that I had an experience when I was your age, and maybe someone, you know, some girl kissed another girl and she was made fun of, and I remember that experience, and I may be putting that on you and just having like a fear about people making fun of you. And, you know, that's really my fear. I don't want that to be your experience. And, you know, I also want to be real with you about what it brings up for me, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But really being honest, because it's amazing
that
this 11-year-old came to this mom and shared this really beautiful, perhaps vulnerable for her, perhaps not, but definitely a gorgeous piece of information, you know?
Yeah.
And whether that sticks around or not, whether it changes or not, it's true in this moment. And I think it's an incredible opportunity to meet that young person with the same type of vulnerability, openness, and desire to communicate.
Yeah, and these present great opportunities to look at the way we see the world and the way we desire to see the world, and to bridge the gap. And that's something that we can do with other beings, whether they have similar beliefs or limiting beliefs they might be changing, or different ones. We can change them side by side with things like affirming how we do truly feel and how we want to feel, or just saying like, I know that you are completely supported in everything that you want to do, and that this is like a beautiful piece of you that I'm excited to get to know. Or I'm grateful for this opportunity to look at places where fear may be inside of me and to release that. And I choose to believe that out of this, like, only beautiful things will come for you and for the world. And it feels good to release maybe some tension I have around the topic of females being attracted to females, and like, wow, what a beautiful thing to be attracted to another human, or who knows what, but just things that you can see, like, this is a way that I can use this experience to grow within myself, and that's really my journey, and I can support my daughter along her journey, whatever that looks like, which might be similar, or like you said, maybe it brings up nothing for her, it was really a simple share for her, maybe it's not that vulnerable, or whatever it is. Like, how can we use this opportunity to grow into more of the fullness of ourselves, and be really honest about that process with people, and keep it in a place of positivity, I think, as opposed to like letting the things we're releasing maybe just
take center stage.
Take over, like use them as clarifying data. Like, okay, this is what doesn't actually ring true for the core of my being. This is what I'm changing, and shift into the vibration of like, this is what I'm embracing. Yeah,
and I love the idea of doing this together, that this is the reason that human beings share and communicate, is to collaborate, to create something together. And so if both people happen to have something that maybe does feel like a concern or a charge or a trigger, they can present that and say, and let's work on this together. Let's, you know, what do we want to be feeling? Where do we want to be? How do we want to create our relationship, and how do we want to support each other? And if it's just one person feeling some of that trigger, that's okay too. There's still a ability to collaborate and to help each other and to continue to grow. And I think that that's what this share originates from, whether that was the conscious intention or not. I mean, I think this is why we share with each other, is to collaborate, to be seen, to be witnessed, to share ourselves with others, and to create something together so that we can keep, you know, moving forward and advancing in this beautiful human form.
And if this is a really new idea, like changing a belief to you, one really simple way that you could start this is just writing down the fears that could come up for you, or just, the feelings around this that don't feel good, that maybe bring up a feeling that doesn't feel good inside of you. Just write down what those are. Like, oh, like, I'm worried she might be made fun of. I'm worried that like society won't treat her fairly, or I'm worried that I'm not going to know how to handle or how to act around her and a potential girlfriend, or whatever. And then creating new things that feel more aligned for you, like the opposite side being like, I know I'm able to support and love my daughter and the people she welcomes into her life. And just like kind of changing the old thing that doesn't really feel like it resonates into a new thing that resonates.
Yeah. And we have a lot of videos on our membership site that show vulnerable communication in action and really show how to hold space for another person, how to support another person. And these are things that Brittany and I have sat down to do in real time when we are actually feeling something, and we've recorded it, and that I think has a lot of modeling that could be helpful to implement, to experiment with, and just to see what's possible in communication. Not that you have to do it just like we do, but that, you know, you can see how vulnerable shares can be a collaboration. So recommend checking that out.
Definitely.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Thanks so much for the questions.
Yeah, if this resonates with you and you want to share it with someone, feel free to click the share button down below.
Love you.
Love you. Mwah.